Hey string slingers, that guitar guy Frank Speer back with you for another episode. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you so very much for tuning in. I know you've got a lot of other things you could do with your time, but you're checking this video out, and I sincerely appreciate it. I really, really do. Yeah, Frank, that's what sincerely means. I know, but I'm just saying, I'm doubling up on it. You know, I got to really emphasize the point. Well, you don't have to repeat yourself. All right, so here's something really cool I want to show you. Something very Hendrixy, if that's a word. All right, some Hendrixisms. I got Jimmy on my arm here. I'm a big Jimmy fan. Might not be able to see him too good there, but he's there. Let me try to focus. Focus on Jimmy. I don't think anyone ever saw Jimmy in focus anyway, even in person, if you know what I'm saying. Here's some cool Jimmyisms. He used these a lot. If you've got a D chord, use this as an example, and you're playing the B minor pentatonic scale over that, you're really playing D major. Same notes. We went over this in a recent video on why that works. But we're starting from D. Listen to the notes of the D major scale. Same notes. B minor is D major. Okay, so that's why we use the minor pentatonic scale from the 6th degree of the major scale of the key you're in. So D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a B. We play the B minor pentatonic scale, but we emphasize the D note. Anyway, got that out of the way. Right next to the D chord here, this shape, is that B minor pentatonic shape. Right? As a matter of fact, this D chord is right inside the B minor pentatonic scale. Right? That's this chord just minus the root. Right? We can grab the root here. Okay? So, understanding that is pretty cool. Now, wherever this particular 5th string bar chord shape is, you move up a whole step. That puts you in that pentatonic box. And you can do these tricks. You can hear the Jimmyisms, right? It reminds me of the Beatles tune, Don't Let Me Down. Right? Here's E. They move up a whole step into that C sharp minor pentatonic shape. And they've got that. That's where they get the, you know. So they moved right up into this shape right here. Right? They got the E major chord. They moved up a whole step right into this C sharp minor pentatonic box. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. So, if you're in C, simply move it up here to this A minor box. Now let's look at what we can do here. Let's go to the E, because that sounds the coolest, right? Because you get the low E. Right? Now, if you wanted to do it in D, you could drop this low E string down to a D. And now you've got... That's just so good. All right. Back to E. All right. So we're in. Here's E. Move up a whole step. And do all your wizardry right here. See which ones sound good to you. Play that low E. See what I mean? You'd start finding out what you don't like. You're playing the string, you're playing a string, whichever one you want, right in this box, and then the note underneath it. If you're up here, if you're down here, and then you're hammering on to the note on this first string, or either one, while letting this note ring out, right? So you've got... playing those together and then hammering on. You let that low E ring out, it's awesome. That sounds great because it's an E. I'm grabbing this E. What about the E flat? See? Up high? Don't like that, right? You don't want that. It's not in the scale. Try to stick to the notes into the scale. But you can go outside the scale and come back in real quick. Right? Sounded weird at first, right? Because it's not what your ear wants to hear when you're doing all this. Here's a little trick about music. Now, if I hit this note, you go, ah, no, watch. Because you're used to hearing a certain sound, right? You're like, oh, he's doing that thing. That Hendrix thing. When I hit that, you go, oh. But watch this. Here's a weird wizardry thing about music. If I do it over and over again, you begin to like it. You begin to accept it, right? You start digging it. Check it out, watch. See, at first you go, whoa, whoa, that's not right. And then you go, oh no, that's kind of cool. That's the beautiful thing. If you're playing live and you're playing a solo and you hit a wrong note, just hit it again. Try that. Play a backing track. Play an A chord vamp or an F chord vamp or an E chord vamp on YouTube and just play bad notes. I say bad. Play wrong notes. I say wrong against it. Notes that are not in the key or in the scale, right? If you have your A major scale, the between notes that you're not playing, right, are not in the key. So those are not. Those are not. Those are not. So have a backing track going, then play. And start to see if you can make it work for your ear. A lot of times what you do is you'll take those notes and you'll bring them down into a good note, right? Or a note that's in the key. So you've got A right there, right next to the note that's not in the key. There's home base. So starts to work. That's another thing we'll do in next week's video. We'll talk about taking the notes that are not in the scale or in the key and using them to jump to notes in the key to get a specific kind of cool sound. All right? So, Hendrixisms. See now? That's weird. I don't like any of those, right? The E's good. That's okay. throwing in the bass note here. So here's my E chord. I'm throwing in the B. That's a cool thing. See you guys in the next one.